Okay. Oh, we're live. Hey, look at this. Welcome, everybody. This is the Comedy Workshop, episode 340. I always have to double check because I've gotten around a couple times. My name is Keller Reeves, and welcome to this whole thing, I guess. Yeah. If you don't know anything about it, what it is it's kind of it's a comedy writing group that we get random topics where we try to write and perform 3 to 5 minutes on the random topic, and we get it prior a couple days, some people hours, right? And we try to make some jokes out of it, and we have a lot of fun. And then we try to give each other pointers and tags, and it's kind of like a pitch room in a way. But it's a lot of fun, right? Anyways, I gotta make a couple of announcements, I guess. I gotta say that just so you guys know, this is a comedy safe space. What that means, it's safe for us and not for you. That's what we're trying to say, okay? We're all writing jokes just to make people laugh, make each other laugh. If anything comes out wrong, we probably didn't know any better, and that was it. Maybe we do. Who knows? But don't come after us. We don't care. That's the thing, right? So, our other comedians. Michael Lee Miller, where are you from? Tell us about yourself.
Hi, this is my second time doing the workshop. I'm from Wenatchee, Washington, the apple capital of the world. I'm a behavioral health therapist and a novelist. And really happy to be here.
Awesome. 5 types of apples, fast, go.
Pardon?
5 types of apples. Let's go. Go.
Fuji, Gala, Pink Lady, Cameo, Golden Delicious.
There you go. Everybody, round of applause.
We're good.
Courtney, where are you from? Tell us about yourself.
I'm in Seattle. I don't know if you can hear me right now. There's a bus right outside my window. That's what it's like living here. I'm a dog walker. I've been doing comedy for 2 years, so really 1 year.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's been raining today, and I fucking hate it.
Well, that's great. So I got nothing. You name 5. Oh, never mind. I was going to say name 5 different puddles, but that doesn't make sense. That in Seattle, back in the day when they first were making Seattle, they had puddles on their map system because the puddles were so big.
I think now we just call them lakes.
Yeah, and kids would drown in them and stuff like this. It was pretty funny. Anyways, not funny drowning, but funny story that still left to fill it in. Anyways, our Dan, my friend.
How are you, Keller?
Doesn't know you about yourself. How's that sound?
I am Dan Brennan. I am the one who inspired Keller to work on his intros to make the show more real, as I come from a room with a mattress against the wall and no art. You want to keep real. I'm a comic from Hamilton, Ontario. I get to play a lot at Levity Comedy Club in Hamilton. We're a small little city of 600,000, but unbelievably, we have 5 professional comedians plying their trade from Hamilton and obviously traveling quite a bit with them. But so it's a cool little scene we've got going, and we're still in full lockdown. So I have not had actual real live stage time, except for that set I did in the laundry room the other day. It's in like 6 months, it feels like. So, nothing worse than a buzzer drying during your punchline. I swear to God. Anyway.
Well, the shaking sounds like
that's it. You hope people leave like loose change in the dryer. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Dan. Everybody doesn't know me. I'm Keller Reeves. I host Monday nights. I'm from Chilliwack, British Columbia, which is about an hour out of Vancouver. So it's a lovely place. It's been sunny all day. It's been great. I've been enjoying myself, And that's what we do. But guess what? This is where we get to start, people. This is where we get to start our show. Okay, and I'm going to go first. My buddy has bugged me to send him the link, and I can't. I just can't. Anyways, I hate when this thing clicks on me. I got to turn off all my little messages. I always forget to do that. Okay, I'm sorry. This will start. We're going to restart this. I want to introduce this next person. He's probably the greatest comedian to ever come out of Chilliwack, apart from Lori. She's pretty funny. She's pretty funny in the bars. But this next comedian, he's really applying his trade. Please put your hands together for Keller Reeves, everybody. Yes, thank you. Awesome. Okay, listen. My topic for today is Canadian duties. Okay? Yeah, I found it kind of funny. Like, I guess we're known for our politeness. I guess Canadians. Unless you try to tell us where where the best poutine place is in your little area, your little brook of the world. Just it's like, hey, go check out this poutine place over here. And listen, you can fuck right off, okay? When we're traveling, we don't want poutine, okay? What we want, just show us where your best Mexican food is, okay? Just point us straight to the Mexican food. That's what we want. By telling us where the best poutine place, you might as well just telling you where the best Walmart is, okay? That is just the thing. It's just we don't care, okay? You don't care about Walmarts, we don't care. Let's eat more tacoing. That's what I'm trying to say, okay? Let's go eat out some burritos. That's what I'm trying to say. Maybe not that. Quesadilla and a tequila margarita. That's what I had to put 3 in there somehow. But actually, poutine is actually pronounced poutine. It's not actually poutine. Poutine is actually a little bit grosser. It sounds grosser, but that's what it's called. Poutine is tourist food. It's it's like basically that's Taco Bell down the States for us. Okay, Canadian duties. I have trouble with this topic. Keep it to ourselves, I guess. I had trouble with this because I'm a first generation Canadian. Okay, I'm first generation Canadian. My family, I'm 15th generation American, North American. I guess I'd say I've been here a long time, but I'm Canadian. I'm just I pretty much don't know what it's like to be Canadian. Because I just take the word of whatever a hockey parent tells me. Okay, this is what you should like, and that's what I just gonna have to accept it. Okay, my kid's got you think hockey is like the epitome of Canadians until you put your kid into hockey, and then it's like, whew, those parents, man, those parents. There's a lot of yelling. Okay, a lot of stuck up rich parents, a lot of yelling. The worst kids get left behind. It's basically the McAllisters from Home Alone. That's basically what hockey parents are basically doing, just screaming away and forgetting kids. It's just like, Kevin, shoot. That's pretty much what hockey parents do all the time. Okay. Hockey is such a revenue system in Canada that the government of Canada back in November declared that all hockey parents would be the first in line for COVID shots. That's what that's, my little humor for that. You know what? I think I've wasted my time with that. But thank you very much. Where's my round of applause? Okay, that was. Michael,
May I start?
Yeah, Dan, go ahead. I'd like you to start.
Oh, that's wonderful. I thank you for getting us off to such an underwhelming start. I only have one note for you, my old friend. You started getting into how to pronounce the word poutine.
Yeah.
What member of an audience ever anywhere is going to like someone who starts giving them pronunciation lessons? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there's no quicker way to turn off an audience than a quick grammar lesson on pronunciation of a word, unless you can really do something with it.
Apparently you say it wrong, Dan. Is that what you're trying to say? So no.
I think I do. I'm a tourist Canadian too.
Kidding, don't worry. Well, thank you. Yeah. I was trying to work out that thing. I actually had a lot of trouble with this one, but it was kind of fun doing it because I got the rag on parents.
Yeah, and I think if you were doing if you were in front of an audience that didn't know what a hockey mom was,
yeah,
you could describe them as picture a soccer mom with access to sharp blades and sticks.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I can compare it to I guess football parents down in the States too. Maybe I should have done that.
Yeah.
Similar people, I think. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. I was just playing to a Canadian thought as being a Canadian topic of duties. Yeah. I should explain that better. You're right.
Yeah.
Well, Michael, what do you think? Same thing?
Yeah, I completely agree with him. The Taco Bell, you guys seek Mexican food. I have a friend from the States living in the UK right now, and that's all he bitches about literally every single day is the lack of Mexican food. So no, it's a universal struggle, and no, that was great.
May I ask where your friend is living?
Outside of London,
Okay, because if they're on the southeast side, there's a place called Streatham. There's a lovely Mexican in there.
What's it called?
I have no idea. It's been 10 years since I've been there. It's probably not even there anymore. But
All right.
yeah. I used to live up that way, so there's got to be something. I thought lately England was losing its reputation for being shit for food, but I don't know.
He likes the healthcare, hates the food.
Yeah, that like the prescriptions are great, eh? Like I remember no matter what the prescription is, you just walk in and give them like £6 and they'll give you the prescription, right? As long as you got a prescription from your doctor. So they're like, no matter what it was, £6. You always knew it was only going to cost you £6. Anyways, sorry for that history lesson, folks.
It's called a capping fee, actually, if anybody wanted to know that. Capping fee. So
A capping fee.
that's what it's called, actually, to open the cap
wow.
bottles. That's what it's. Yeah, I know that. So yeah.
I wish bartenders got paid that.
Yeah. No kidding. That's what it costs.
Yeah, the bottle itself is $3, but for me to uncap it, that's $6. I'm union.
Was there anything else, Michael?
Um,
Well, how about you, Courtney? Thank you.
I didn't have many notes. I just liked the comparison to the McAllisters, and I wanted you to do the Kevin yell, kind of more like the mom. I liked that you were like Kevin, but I wanted you to be like Kevin, like really. Ah!
I looked at your guys' faces and I didn't see you're getting it, so I was like, oh, I didn't really get into it enough.
No, I liked it.
You want me to retry? I can retry. Okay, hold on. Okay. Kevin! Okay. A little better?
Yep.
To see you, right? A little too technical, Home Alone.
If I knew any hockey terms, then I would throw that in afterwards. But you
Yeah,
know,
Seattle just got a hockey team, didn't they?
They did.
we have the name for the hockey team. I think that's as far as we've gotten.
Okay. I think a lot of jokes are going to be made about the name of that team.
Yep.
Kraken.
Deserved.
Come on now.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Well deserved.
Yeah.
Seattle's a hockey town, though, surprising. So I was Wenatchee for that.
we have like a college age. I don't sports.
I don't.
We have
That's awesome.
an amateur team that plays 3 other Canadian teams, and people are very into it. And I could not care less.
I love that. I love how you said I don't sports. You didn't say I don't watch sports. I don't have an interest in sports. It's I don't sports.
Anything that can do with sports. Nah.
Cool. That's good.
How about sports bras?
Have you put one on? No.
I haven't needed one, but
Fair.
I've worn a really tight T-shirt one time. Is that close enough? Like a small squeeze.
Pretty much. Except cut it in half and make it dig into your rib cage.
Well,
And your shoulder.
I couldn't get it down past my stomach, so it really just kind of rolled up.
When it comes to uncomfortable clothing that women wear or feel that they're forced to wear, I just like to point out that I'm on the side of you never having to wear anything that you found uncomfortable again. That's my pitch for equality.
Boy, take a stand there, Dan.
What's that?
A stand. You know,
I'm taking a stand.
taking a stand.
Yeah. I think comfy clothes is something we can all unite on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now we've gotten through mine. My I'll improve it next time. I'll be better. I swear. I got my own topics next time. So if I didn't explain the rules, we go around to each person and then tell each other what we think. And then, I'm pretty sure I did that. I think. Maybe. Who knows? I've done so many of these. It kind of drowns together. But hey, listen, I got a new intro. Okay. Okay. Let me get ready for this one. Okay. Listen, I've been waiting for this comedian to show up, okay? I've been waiting weeks and weeks. I've followed her on Instagram. I've done all sorts of things. I've done precarious things. I haven't been across the border. So it's not that precarious, but I've been really searching out. So please, okay, put your hands together for Michael Lee Miller, everybody!
With an intro like that, thank you. I was assigned the topic of marbles. I'm very thrilled to be giving a 5-minute set on marbles right now. They actually stopped making marbles 60 years ago. We as a society have been recycling the same 75 marbles for decades. I think at this point, marbles only exist as a plot point in Rube Goldberg devices. Deep cut joke there. I did quite a bit of research trying to get inspired on my topic. Evidently, in competitive, this is per wiki, in competitive gameplay, you must announce the rules in which you shall abide before the match starts. Rules such as playing for keepsies, and whether or not stompsies are allowed. There are grown-ass men right now in England playing competitive marbles. I'm serious. Right now, as we speak, there's a 40-year-old man in England telling another adult man that he calls quitsies. That's a rule. And I had to think, who is this man? What even is his life? Has he not seen porn or played Candy Crush or smoked weed? I had to find out more. I did a deep dive. His name is Chris Pempel, and after much digging, I found out he is normal. He's completely average, if not handsome. He's 31, and according to his LinkedIn, he has a job. And one day a year, he leaves his seemingly normal life to kneel in a parking lot with other grown men to play a game where breaking the rules is called, and I am not exaggerating, fudging. Once a year, Chris Pempel will fly to England and accuse another adult of fudging the cabbage, which, by the way, is moving your tolly closer to the law. I researched this for hours, and I still don't understand. Because my parents evidently did something right at some point. Can you imagine going on a date with this guy? Let's paint a picture, shall we? You're at the cute little cafe downtown. You've got the perfect top and the good panties, just in case. And he's ordered a latte, and you're glad he's not one of those assholes who orders black coffee and implies that people take sugar and cream don't actually like coffee. And you're talking about pets and hobbies, and boom, marbles. Competitive tournament marbles. What do you even say to that? I mean, I'd still probably fuck him, but I've got my own issues. Do you think his parents brag about him to their friends? I mean, he is a world champion. I did research, though. There's no purse. There's no financial prize. There's an ugly trophy. Do they include that in the Christmas newsletter? Do his friends talk about him behind his back? Like, oh my God, Chris is such a nice guy. I know, right? With the marble thing, girl. I know. So thank you for coming to my deep dive on 2019 Marble World Champion, Chris Pempel. I will now take your questions.
Yay!
That was awesome. That was well researched, wasn't it?
Please go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, well, I'm not really chomping at the bit. I don't know how much more I could add to that. I thought that was really well thought out. I think I've told this story on the workshop before. There's one guy that we do comedy with here in Hamilton, and he's getting a PhD in history, and he always makes jokes about weird shit that's happened throughout history. And so I love that, like all the references to stompies and fudging. Like, come on, like this game could have started out somewhere different. Anyways, the one thing I thought about, like the date, like what if like they were in a Chinese restaurant or even in a cafe, and there's an aquarium. And someone has put marbles in the bottom of the aquarium or something like that.
That's great.
Or instead of him having a girlfriend, that it's his wife. So like you're so into this, you actually phone the wife, and you're like how can you? How is this possible, right? Like how can you love this guy? And she's like, well, my ex-boyfriend was into anal. So it's less painful, but we still don't tell our friends about it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. That's all I had.
Yeah. Thanks, Dan.
No problem.
I can't hear if you said me. I liked we've been recycling the same 75 marbles. That got me. I was like, are you serious? Oh, no. He's not serious. And I like just the silly names, the keepsies and the quitsies. And you're porn or Candy Crush. I thought that was funny too. Like, oh yeah, those are things that normal dudes probably look at. And just describing the date in detail, because I've been single and going on dates and picturing it like, oh yeah, let me have my oat milk latte. Okay, it's not that big of a fucking deal. So yeah, good job. I liked it.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think it was pretty funny. I liked how like every like the 60 years you made it work right up when you said we have made one in 60 years. I mean, that really gets attention. That was great. That's a fact. That's just it's funny in this itself, right?
Yeah. Is that true though? That
I made that up.
Oh, you did?
Well, the 60 years part.
Oh, that's even better.
Like, I thought that's great. That's even better. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that looking up and going, that's son of a bitch. A lot of those words you use, like fudging and quincing, those are words that I remember always being around, but I never knew where they're from. So that was kind of interesting. So, I also
actually. In the deep dive, I also learned when you start a match, it's called to knuckle down. That's how you start a match, is you put your knuckles down. And that's etymology-wise, that's actually really interesting. That comes from so long ago, from marbles.
Yeah. Must have been like quite the game back in the day. Played it back when it was, I guess, popular. Yeah, it's. I wish you would have used some of those references in your date, though. Like reformed them a bit, and that thing, like like go quint, like I can't remember what they all mean, but it'd been cool if you would have thrown in like lollybobber or something like that,
or instead of you knowing that he's into marbles, he just starts, like, well, I like to get knuckles down with my fudging or whatever, something like that.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, God.
Yeah, that would have been good.
Yeah.
Hey, you could actually swap it too by saying, because I like the line you said, like it's kind of normal looking, almost handsome. I mean, you could have gone the other way and go, yeah, I'd let him knuckle down me, or stuff like that. Yeah, it's like kind of like throw the lines in his fetishes, something like you like about it. Yeah, there's lots of different ways you can do with that. It's great. The Candy Crush reference was good too. I like that because it just seemed like the same game to me. I'm like, not exactly, but just same level of game. That was a perfect analogy for me because I thought it was pretty funny. So, anyways, a great job. Great job. Another round of applause for Michael E. Miller, everybody.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. Okay. Courtney, you ready?
Ready.
Okay, let me do the intro. Okay. I get excited for these intros now. Let's get all pumped for them, and I'm ready to go. Okay, listen, everybody. This is a newer comedian, but she is absolutely fabulous. She's been sought out by the best recruitment staffs in recruiter.com for comedy entirely. So please put your hands together for Courtney Byrne, everybody.
Thank you. My topic today is the sun, which is kind of ironic since I live in Seattle. It's kind of like saying I love steak, but I'm a pescatarian. We just don't get a lot here. So I get sunburned a lot because I am very fair complected. But okay, so this is just, I don't know what I'm talking about here. My brother is a redhead. I have like light brown hair, but I dye it blonde. Like 2 years ago, I want to say, I was just having a conversation with my brother, and he was like, oh yeah, one of my buddies was talking about me having my red hair and where it comes from. He's like, yeah, I don't really know. Like, I got the red hair, but my sister has the complexion of a redhead. And I was like, oh my God, he's right. I never realized I'm freckles. I get sunburned every summer. And 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, I think I'm a redhead. So that was something I had to come to terms with. But yeah, I've already been sunburnt twice this year. And it sucks because both times I was freezing the entire time, like bundled up. Only this part of my whole body was showing, and the sun was like, I'm still gonna get you. So that's fun. Been sunburnt so many times that I've actually had skin cancer, but I didn't even get any sympathy for it because it was like a non-deadly version. The doctors were like, oh yeah, we're just gonna cut that out, no big deal. And I was like, I mean, it feels like a big deal. be told you have cancer, and then to tell people what kind, they're like, oh, no one cares. But then my cousin recently got breast cancer, so like had to go through chemo. Bald head. She looks great with the bald head, by the way. Like, cool, good for you, Jamie. Freaking killing it. And I'm like, she's just like, she stole my thunder. Like, my relatives are like, you can't call yourself a cancer survivor, okay? I'm like, but I did survive. No, see, I don't know. These are just things I had in my head, you guys. Other topics involving the sun. My parents are moving to Florida in a couple weeks because they love the sun. I was down at their house. They live 2 hours away from me. I was down there for a garage sale this past weekend just to help them get rid of all the crap they don't need. And it was super emotional because now I have to change the address on my driver's license. Like, I haven't lived there for a decade. I've lived in this same tiny apartment, for 9 years. But, like, this isn't permanent, is what I keep telling myself. And I found out that there are no Safeways in Florida. So there goes my monthly gas discount. Thanks a lot, Mom and Dad. I don't know if that's a thing you guys even know about. Is that just I don't know. Does that joke work? I was going through boxes and found some like collector's items. Like growing up, my brother had a lot of baseball cards. So he had like the folder of all the baseball cards. He could like read all the stats. He could trade them with his friends. Like, that's a fun gift. And my collector's items was Barbies. It's like, I have this really pretty one, like a fancy green dress, like Christmas themed, still in the box because my parents said I couldn't play with it. Like, do you know how messed up it is to get the exact thing you wanted for Christmas and then be told, oh, you can't play with this, but we will put it away for your future in this very sturdy cardboard box for you to randomly find 25 years later when we're packing up all our shit so we can move 2,500 miles away from you. Okay, Merry Christmas. So, yeah. So, can I at least have some baseball cards? No? Okay, that's fine. And that's what I have about the sun.
Hey! Corner bird, everybody! Good job. That was topic, eh? What do you think, Michael? You want to start?
Yeah, gosh, I was enjoying it so much I didn't write anything down. I totally relate to the loss of the Safeway point gas discount. My dad died, and I lost mine, and I'm still
God,
bummed.
did he die from cancer? Oh, my God.
Actually, he totally did.
Oh, my
but
God,
it's
I'm
cool.
sorry. Was it breast cancer? It wasn't
Oh,
breast
yeah.
cancer.
He wasn't brave. It wasn't like a warrior thing, you know. It's fine. He smoked. So, I'm going to hell. I thought that was really, really funny. And like the realization that you're a redhead, like you could build that up too. Like, do I smell like pennies? Other like redhead.
I've never heard that, but okay.
Oh, you never heard that one? Yeah, redheads
No.
totally smell like pennies because they have a lot of copper in their system or something.
Weird. See, I wonder if I smell like pennies because of my complexion or my brother because of his hair. I'm going to have to sniff him next time I see him.
Good plan. Otherwise, brilliant. I thought it was very, very funny.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Michael. That thing sounds more like loonies. I never heard that before. Like loonies, $1 coin. Sorry,
I think that's a racist stereotype against ginger people.
I don't think ginger is a race.
I'm going to tell my niece and nephews next time they come over and ask them.
Oh my God! Like you can't tell because I'm bald and all that. But I used to have reddish hair. There's a lot of red in my Irish family, and I think what we're coming up here against is some very negative stereotypes about my people. Which is sorry, Keller. Did you want to continue, or can I launch in?
I'd love to hear your positive stereotypes of Irish people.
Well, I guess the word ginger isn't as popular over here as it is in the UK. Like redheads are called gingers, right? But we used to have this thing like, you know, like if someone had ginger pubes and not ginger hair, they were an undercover ginger, right? So I love the idea of you being an undercover ginger. So you get to participate in all the stereotypical jokes and no one bugs you about what to do on St. Paddy's Day. That's a pretty good advantage of being an undercover ginger. Yeah. Where was I again? Yeah, and I just love the idea about being a real diva over having cancer. And I thought, like, when you brought your family into it and their reaction, like a really good button or a really good like punchline to it would be like to just say, "Don't tell me you don't play favorites." You know what I mean? Like when they make a bigger deal out of her cancer as opposed to yours. Yeah.
No one made me dinners for a week.
Exactly. I drove myself to the hospital. Stuff like that, you know. Yeah. Like I just love that that idea of poking fun at that. And yeah. I can't even read my own handwriting at this time of the night.
Can I interject right there? Just because
Yeah, you go ahead.
like the thought, like Dan put me on the thought, but thinking about how like, yeah, she one up me, kind of like going on that path. Goes, I guess she's trying to get back for me stealing her boyfriend back in whatever grade. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty cool. So please go ahead, Dan. Yeah.
No, that's all I had.
Yeah. Well, I was going to introduce you before is speaking of bald heads, because you did talk about bald heads, and I was going to shoot it at you, Dan. But it was, but I loved your bubbly stuff, Courtney. Like I find it very like kind of like I want to listen to you. So that's awesome, you know. And this topic because you're not as long-term experience as some others, so it's you, maybe you need some more punchlines in there a bit or kind of condensed a bit, but it was really funny. I enjoyed the way you told it was really enjoyable to me. And I'm always a believer that it matters how someone feels at the end rather than what you actually said and did. So if they walk away happy, then you know it doesn't matter what kind. They won't remember the jokes; they'll remember you more. You know, but I think that's a great job. You did really well, I think too. So,
Well, thank you.
Yeah, everybody else put the same info I was. Oh, one thing. I dated a girl that's strawberry blonde. She was like almost reddish, but you can say you're strawberry brown with a hint of blonde because you're dyeing it all the time. So, it makes it more now with your blonde hair though that you're dyeing the red out of it than the brown.
Yeah.
Liar in a way, but who knows? So.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was awesome. Thank you, Courtney. Well done. A round of applause for Courtney, everybody.
Hey.
Okay. Next comedian, everybody, is the man of the hour, the highlight of my month because I get to see him once a month. You know, I can't wait to go meet him this year. I'm going to drive to Canada. If stupid province gets opened up, I'm going to be beside him, drinking a beer, maybe having some salad. You know, maybe something. Get him back in this out of the ruts he's been living in life. You know, the tiresome, boring days of just sitting around doing nothing. You know, so please listen. This comedian's going to bring you up. He's going to make you feel great as much as I feel great. Put your hands together with Dan Brennan, everybody.
Yeah. Well, after being described as the most depressed person who ever lived, I don't know where it's really my responsibility to lift you all up. I feel, in a way, that you're actually lambs to the slaughter because my word this week is lambs. And much like Michael, I'm not one to take these assignments that I picked up at 4 p.m. today lightly. I've done extensive research, right? And it turns out a lamb is a type of sheep. And a lamb is the type of sheep that we eat. We like the sheep. And if you ever needed proof that humankind isn't worth a damn, since the beginning of time, we've been cultivating sheep and we've been eating them. But we don't eat the daddy sheep. We don't eat the mummy sheep. We eat something we've affectionately called the lamb, which, as I found out at my horror at 5:15 tonight, is actually the baby sheep. It's a sheep that has not yet reached a year old. Because apparently since the beginning of time, we were so fucking precious that sheep meat was too tough for us. Couldn't handle it. Didn't know how to cook it. Didn't know what to do with it. We called it mutton. Can you imagine eating something that sounds like mutton? It sounds like something you spit out, doesn't it? So yes, we're a bunch of baby killers, is what I'm trying to say to you. And actually, the best meal I ever had, I was in the south of Spain once, and I had this lamb dinner, and I'm like, oh my god, that lamb is fantastic. Where's it from? And they're like, oh, his cousin's jumping around the backyard there. Like the lamb was like literally backyard table. It was wonderful. I'm thinking of going vegan. Yeah, so this is what we do in our society, though, isn't it? When we have something painful that we don't really like to talk about, we give it a cute name. You know what I mean? Like we eat baby sheep, but we don't. Ooh, you don't walk into a restaurant and go, "Ooh, can I get a baby sheep and some of them new potatoes?" No, you walk in, you say, "Can I have some lamb?" Right? And we do this like with everything in life. And it brings me to a phrase that's out there in the lexicon these days, that I don't understand how something could be so poorly named, but defund the police. Like who? This is why people on the left never get over. This is why the revolutionaries never get over bad PR. You know what I mean? Like honestly, they should really save up their money, do a crowdfunding, get one of those really big PR firms, get them on the case, pay them the money, the capitalist bastards, and come up with a better name than defund the police. Like I think something like more time for police to play volleyball would at least start the conversation, as opposed to defund the police. You know. Sorry, and that's all I have to say. Although, my new American friends, I'd like to point out Keller's from Chilliwack, and there's a really cheesy '80s rock band. Think like spandex and super long curly male hair coming everywhere. They're called Chilliwack. Just for a laugh, you should look them up and listen to them. Yeah. I can't remember one of their songs.
No, I can't either, actually.
No,
but I do know that if you live in a town that's not named after a band, you live in a shitty town. That's the. And everybody, that's what I'm supposed to do.
Thank you.
Yeah, I always like your humor. It's fun. I loved your stuff about the lambs, the type of sheep, and in the baby murders. Pretty funny, you know. I was laughing pretty hard when you used lexicon. I was like, "Oh, well, that's funny." It makes me laugh, right? So, anyways, yeah, I think you did a really good job. I always love your humor, and well, way to go for like such a short time. Because if you don't know, folks, Dan came in late and he filled in a spot. Thank you for that, and he wrote as best he could, and that was great, I think, too. So
that's right.
Awesome.
You could have been home one whole comedian earlier, but I had to message at 3:00 today. Thank you for that, Keller. I love doing the Monday night show with you more than anyone. You keep it moving, and you've always got a good input, which is what I'm really here for, is, you know, to work on jokes and feed jokes and stuff like that. Thank you. Go ahead, ladies. Do your worst.
Yeah. Who'd like to start? Courtney?
Yeah, I didn't have too much. I'm thinking about going vegan. Part.
That was just something I said.
But that is one reason that, I don't know if you wanted to take this or not, but like why I decided to go pescatarian, because I don't think fish are cute. Like I like to go fishing, but I can't actually touch a fish because they just gross me out. But like,
right, what, is a pescatarian someone who eats fish or doesn't?
Yeah, like that's their only type of like meat that they would eat is like seafood.
Oh, okay, I understand. Yeah, that's cool.
So it's like I can go to a place and pick out a lobster, but you picking out your lamb is like, no.
Would you feel horrible if I told you that I've actually slaughtered 4 meat, bunnies, I should call them rabbits, and chickens. And I have to tell you, like, I felt I had a little hobby farm, and it was a very empowering experience, but I fucking have nightmares about it, man. I do. I don't ever want to kill anything ever again.
No, it's sad. We had goats when I was growing up, and they were pets, and then they kept having babies, so we would sell them to like, Mexican restaurant workers who wanted them for meat, and we were like, no!
One of my earlier sets, I had like at least 7 minutes on goats. We sold Fijians. I had no idea for like 20 years. Memories for me that too. Courtney, sorry to cut you off. Do you have any more? Or you good?
No, I didn't know where you were going with the whole defund the police thing. I was sorry, what? But then the volleyball thing was good. I don't know if there was like just a shorter.
You know what? I have to be completely honest with you. I came as far as saying this afternoon when I thought about this that it's funny how we name things, and then it got me on the track of how like defund the police has to be the worst name in the history of any movement. If given what its goal is, it's not actually to defund or attack the police. But anyways, just
harder to explain to everybody.
Yeah, and then that idea of them playing more volleyball just popped into my head. So I don't know. But I think that could be something that could actually. I like because nobody wants to hear a middle-aged white guy's opinion on anything anymore. So I love starting off with a setup that might push the audience away a little bit. And then bringing them back by saying something funny, which I don't think is like unique or new or clever. I think it's like something Sarah Silverman was doing 15 years ago. But it seems to really work in an environment where you have a heightened audience who are waiting for you to slip up. You know what I mean? They're waiting for you to say something wrong. So,
yeah.
Thank you for your feedback.
How about you, Michael? Do you have anything for that?
You could totally extend the human monster thing. Beating baby lambs isn't the only horrifying thing we do when veal exists. And, just how gross it is that we take an animal's meat and then stuff it in its own intestines and eat it first thing in the morning.
Yeah.
There's a lot of grossness there. I thought your punchline was going more towards, and I ate this baby lamb. And by the way, nice humble brag about eating in Spain, by the way. I thought it was going towards, I sat at this meal. It was one of the, this meal, and there was this baby lamb in the back, and I ate his cousin, and well, nothing tastes as good with mint jelly or something like that. Going vegan was.
Yeah. Yeah, now I can't enjoy a meal unless I'm staring an innocent animal in the eyes or something creepy like that.
I just thought of something. If you're like, oh, I found out it's a baby lamb, and so now I'm not eating lamb anymore. Now strictly veal, which is just baby cow.
Yeah, right. Yes, I like that. I like that a lot, actually. That's quite good.
I thought you would go veal, actually. I thought you were going to talk about that. I forgot about saying. Yeah, that's a good. That's funny. So, awesome. I'm sorry, Michael. You done there?
No, I'm good.
Okay,
Great
cool.
job, Dan.
Well,
Thank you.
Buddy. Okay,
I'm just going to grab some water.
no problem. Let me stall for you. Don't worry. Take your time. Oh, wait. Have a rest on. Yeah. Okay, well, this is the point where we actually get to it's a trivia game now. I want to scare you all for a second, just to get you right in focus. This is where we do our own material in the same format. On this, we do our own stuff. I really had to struggle. I'm gonna go first, of course. We'll go in the same order. I tried to find things I haven't done. Me and Dan have done so many together. I didn't know what I hadn't done. So I'm gonna do go further on what I did this first set and just go a little further. I watched this. I listened to this podcast called Lexicon Valley. There you go, Dan. That's the tie-in for you. I listened to this podcast, which it's a linguist podcast. It's really dull. The guy's so boring from New York, but there's sometimes some interesting stuff. And I was really kind of interested. One, it was called his episode's about someone wrote in and asked him, what did the founding father accents like? What did they sound like, basically? And it was quite neat because you think back to 1776, and the story was this. Right? So you have to go back to understand what the English sound like back then, right? So the English sound like Boston. So Boston people. That's how the founding fathers sounded. That's how England actually sounded, was like Boston accent. Okay. The thing about it is, like, the aristocrats wanted to sound different, pull themselves away from the working class, so they started making English sound different, which is how we hear it now, actually, because everybody else just followed suit. Like, you can't talk differently. Just like anything we see on TikTok, you start saying the shit, Anyways, that's the thing about it. So they start talking. So the original English accent is like the Boston accent, and it always makes me kind of think about how all those movies made should have been done in a Boston accent. Like Spartacus, that would sound great in a Boston accent. Like, and I'm bad at Boston, so forgive me, but I am Spartacus, kid. I'm a wicked gladiator. Okay, that's the thing for me. It's like fun, and I'm not gonna go further with this, but I think Shakespeare in a Boston accent would be hilarious because that's more the way it would be technically. So like, fair is foul, foul is fair. Okay, I can't really do the accent very well. Okay, you can picture a Boston accent in your head, and just you just put everything in. All these old movies, that's the way they sound, like Boston. Okay, and to keep going on with these linguist stuff, I my favorite thing to do is get on Thursdays. I get wicked stoned. I get really stoned, and I watch this show called Swamp People. Are you guys familiar with this at all? Swamp People? Okay, here's what it is, okay? It's a show on the History Channel about these alligator fishermen. They're alligators from Louisiana. They're right down the Cajuns, which is interesting to me because Cajuns are Acadians that moved down. They said, fuck you Canada, and moved down to Louisiana. So they got funny accents. We all know this, right? The Louisiana Cajun accent. And the thing about this main star named Troy Landry, okay? And I realized I watched him extensively and excessively. I know that his accent is it's basically talks like he's a sex doll. That's why I figured this accent out. You just make your face look like a sex doll and say any word, and it sounds like, okay? So just say like New Orleans, for example, like New Orleans, yeah. Alligator. Pretty much just keep yourself in a sex. I'm trying to paint a picture, okay? Not only does this Swamp People show, which I love, I just fall in love with the show. He also does this show called the Serpent Invasion, where he goes to Florida, right? He goes to Florida and he hunts snakes in the Everglades, okay? And it's always funny, these alligator hunters are just screaming all the time. When a snake shoots at him. It's the funniest thing in the world. The best thing ever is this part. They're walking through the Everglades and they see this dead snake because they're spotting snakes everywhere, right? Like, oh, there's a snake. And they run up, oh, it's dead, right? This giant snake. And what happened? They're like, golly. And what it was, this snake had caught a deer from behind, okay? And it started engulfing the deer. Hey, you imagine this, a deer is a big size animal, but the snake's getting over him. He's getting over him. And then what happens? He gets to the end and he gets stuck because the snake can't go backwards on the deer's antlers. Okay. So now the snake is just stuck on the head. Basically, this deer is wearing a snake like a sleeper. He's just wearing the snake like a sleeper. And both animals die. Okay. They come apart, this thing. I find it so ridiculous and funny. And all they can say is this. Golly, would you look at that? And they walked on. Excuse me, I want a CSI investigation of this. I want to know who the snake talked to before this. I want to know all the associates with that deer. There is a crime scene. I need to know every detail about this snake and deer. I want to know their names, their parents. I want to get down to point with this thing, okay? You just can't wait to walk away and just, golly, look at that. And you can't do that, okay? That's wrong, okay? Oh, well, I guess I say okay too much, especially when I get anyway, to go on one more step with accents, my Uncle Jim is from Quebec. That's what we saw, Quebec. Okay. He's a trapper from Quebec. That's what he is. And he moved up to Queen Charlotte's up north. And what trappers do, they barter for, they trap animals and they take those pelts, and they barter and they do all sorts of things. And he had to go get dentures made because he cracked a bunch. And he goes to the denture, he gives his price, right? And he goes, fuck that, I ain't paying it. Okay. He goes home, he traps a beaver, takes the teeth out of the beaver, makes his own dentures out of the thing. Okay. You can imagine this. Okay. And he's telling me a story. A young 16-year-old killer. He's telling me a story. And he looks at me and goes, then I ate the beaver with its own teeth. He said, Uncle Jimmy, holy shit. Anyways, that's my time. Thank you very much. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I tried to experiment there, so thank you guys. So, Dan, you chomping at the bit there?
Oh, I'm chomping at the bit there, mostly because of Michael's reaction to the murder of animals. I get the impression that, like, read the room, you lost a quarter of the room 33% of the room on those tales. But sorry, that was interesting. That was interesting. I would say that, what's really interesting about this? I was in the car with my son the other day, and we were talking about snakes because he's 10 years old. He likes snakes, right? And I told him that a snake could take down a small deer. And the little fucker wouldn't believe me. He's like, there's no way, Dad. Come on. And I'm like, yeah. I wasn't going to look up the video. The Boston accent thing and like replacing it in movies, I think that could be really good. Like if you really, really, really got the Boston accent down, you know what I mean? Which, in terms of accents, is supposedly a really, really tough one. Because it depends, like, I don't know. I remember seeing a very short clip about someone talking about it, right? And they're like, yeah, if you're going upstairs, you pronounce the A one way, but yeah, if the A is at the end of a word, it has to be a different sound than if it was in the middle of a word. And so it's a really complicated accent to learn. But like, I mean, you could have a lot of fun with that in terms of like if you were doing a longer set, if that was like somewhere near your opener and it went well, and then you could just like, no matter what you were doing throughout the set, you could just stop and break back into that and do another movie quote, right? Stuff like that. Or if you were hosting, it was something you could use throughout. I think you were guilty of telling people how to pronounce a word again. Nobody gives a shit that it's Quebec. Nobody. You're that guy at the end of the bar nobody's talking to, Keller. That's what's going on there. Oh, and the only other thing I had to say, and like this is to save you from getting canceled, okay? The Acadians did not leave leave Nova Scotia as it is now. They were quite famously kicked out by the British. Now I don't think there's any of them left to get offended, but yeah, they were kicked out of Acadia by the British and went down to Louisiana and formed New Orleans and all that good stuff.
Yeah, I'm not supporting what the British did, but
yeah, I'm not saying that you are. I just think people would be offended if they heard you say they left of their own accord, as if you were denying their truth. I wouldn't want you to be accused of that.
Well, if I get canceled over that, I think it's worthwhile. I think that's canceled Acadians.
Fair enough.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Michael, how about you?
Dan, I had pretty much the same thing to say as Dan. You could totally make that Boston thing work for a whole set. Just keep coming back to it. The Shakespeare's Boston accent, there's potential there for something like imagine 12 Mark Wahlbergs doing Hamlet. I don't want to see that, but I kind of do.
Yeah.
Like how you can't not look at a car accident when you drive by. That was very funny though.
There's so many Wahlbergs, right? They could all finally be in one production together, so.
Yeah, 12 Mark Wahlbergs and 2 Matt Damons, and we got a show.
There you go.
Yeah, I wrote down both those names. Good job.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael. Was that it? Sorry?
Yes. Yeah, it was very funny. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. Courtney, how about you?
I liked the sex doll reference, but then it made me kind of think, like, what kind of sex doll is he talking about? Like the blow-up kind or like the robotic kind?
That's a good point. I never thought about that before.
I would just maybe call it a blow-up doll.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And I liked it looked like the deer was wearing the snake like a sleeping bag. Like he just got cozy. He was like, oh, this feels nice. Oh, never mind. And then he ate the beaver with his own teeth. I thought that was funny too. And the whole CSI investigation. I was into that. I like true crime. So I was like, yes, I do want to know. Cut it open. Let's see how this happened.
Yeah, I did hear that they found the bones. That's it. They found the bones picked apart by other animals because they had died. So it's like a deer bone skeleton inside a snake skeleton, which is it's like, ooh, they crawled in there for a cave like what's the Empire Strike Back where they cut the Yeti thing open. But yeah, well, it'd be nice. Think about that a lot. I think about now snakes eating me. It bothers me. It's like if they can eat a deer, I'm pretty sure there's one out there that can eat me. And just scared. So these are all fears. But yeah, thank you so much, Courtney. I appreciate it. Yeah. Well, thank you all. I think we need another round of applause for me, everybody. Okay, let's keep this rolling. I think we don't want to be out here all night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this next comedian did a great first round, and I want to welcome you with warm, open arms. not in a weird way, but a nice way. Put your hands together for Michael Lee Miller, everybody.
I haven't been writing a lot of jokes lately. You know, I think all of us are in a really weird place with comedy. Doing comedy these days is weird. We're out of practice. I took a year off for absolutely no reason at all. No reason. Just stayed home and gained 50 pounds for a year. Just no reason. It's weird. A lot of my friends did the same thing. Antidepressants are weird, yo. Anyone else there? Like, they're kind of like, do you want to come or die? Like, I was having trouble getting there, and my dude, he knows that I like, you know, dirty talk, and it wasn't working, and he was like, well, tell me what to say, and I was like, tell me Giuliani's gonna get indicted. Tell me Giuliani's gonna get indicted. A lot's changed this year. Actually, a lot's changed for me personally. I got engaged.
Nice.
And thank you. I'm getting married in like a month. And I'm really worried about my comedy. I'm not going to lie. Because so much of my humor is derived from my pathetic dating life. And I mean, now it's like, ugh, I'm emotionally and sexually satisfied. Ugh, it's so funny. No, it's not. And I mean, actually, when it comes to my relationship, the timing is kind of funny. We were engaged after dating for 4 months. And before that, we jumped in and bought a house together. So we bought it's charming. It's a cottage style. It's 3 stories. It's only 91 years old. And we were really impulsive because the market here is really crazy and you have to make offers really fast. And so we actually bought this house after seeing it once at night. But I feel like huge decisions should absolutely be made, like buying a $400,000 house with a man you've been dating for 3 months. Split second. Absolutely. I'm not going to regret a second of this, right? At all. It has been weird living with a man for the first time in a decade. I was worried about, you know, like gross dude stuff. And I was wrong. I actually found out by living with him that I am a caveman with bleached hair. We were eating dinner and he asked where the napkins are. And I was like, you have sleeves? Caveman. It is funny when you jump right into like an instant family like this. I recently learned he has a metallurgy degree. I'm still not 100% sure what that is, but you know, keep some mystery for the wedding night. He came with a 100-pound dog. That's been very fun. His name is Grizz. We both learned that Grizz is afraid of stairs after we purchased a 3-story house. So that's been awesome. He likes to give me a lot of crap because I'm super bougie about my skin and healthcare regimen. I'm sorry, but petroleum products and sulfates and parabens have no earthly business being in or on my body. This body is a temple. And he's like, yeah, babe, but you smoke and snort any powder in front of you. And I'm like, so? Get that fucking Carmex away from me. I take over a dozen vitamins every day to compensate for smoking, drinking, and eating like a demonic raccoon. And he happily, despite being a man of science, watches me take these herbal supplements and doesn't even tease me because that's true love. And that's all I have.
Hey! Mike Lee Miller, everybody. Oh, look at this. Oh, look, we got another guest that's late to the party. I told her she can come in. I didn't expect her to be an hour late, but what's that?
Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mina, how are you?
Hold on, I can't hear you guys. It's like really. Hold on.
How is this? Is this
Can you guys hear me?
yeah, I hear you.
Okay.
Us? Yeah, it's you nodded. That makes sense. Well, welcome.
Sorry.
Just listen to Michael Miller said. I thought it was great. Let's round of applause again one more time for the interruption. Mina, there we go.
Yeah.
So, Dan, would you like to go first? You like going first?
I do like going first. Wait a minute. What are we talking about here? Hang on. So I don't know if you want to do this at the beginning. The only real thing I could add to that story, because I think as Keller points out throughout the night, it's important to grab their attention, and I think that really grabs their attention. But I thought like the idea that you list off everything that you've done in the last 3 months and say something along the lines of, so I think the biggest problem is going to be keeping the excitement in the marriage. Like, I mean, if you can pack that much into 4 or 5 months, it's not the not knowing, it's the, you know what I mean? Like, what are we doing next week? We're taking the dog, we're jumping out of an airplane, all three of us. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much all I had.
Awesome.
Thank you.
How about you, Courtney?
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry. I did have one more thing at the beginning. Just like, sorry, Courtney. Sorry, don't hate me forever. And when you said when you bought a 90-year-old house or 91-year-old house, it needed something after that to explain to the audience why it's funny, and just like a simple, we bought a 91-year-old house, low maintenance, and then carry on from there, right? Because
Perfect.
I don't think it was clear why buying a 91-year-old house is also a big problem. So anyway, yeah. Sorry, Courtney.
You're good.
Please go.
So I don't know. I had a few different things. I liked the antidepressants, like, do you want to come or do you want to die? I thought that was good. The Giuliani indicted, maybe a different thing as your second, like, please let Giuliani be indicted. Please let Trump get murdered.
Get arrested. Okay, thank you.
And then bragging about being engaged after 4 months. Okay. So, this is the thing that I personally been self-conscious about, because I've been dating my boyfriend for a year now, and people have met and gotten married within that time, and I'm like, wait, does that mean we don't like each other? Or like, so maybe something like, so all my friends who aren't married, or like you're laughing at them like, oh, okay, good for you. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
You bought a house after seeing it once at night, kind of like a one-night stand. I don't know.
Good.
And then he brought a 100-pound dog to the relationship, and you had said earlier that you'd gained 50 pounds, so you could say you brought 50 pounds more of yourself or something. Just the whole pounds thing.
Awesome.
That's what I wrote.
Good job, Courtney. Yeah. Okay, so I liked your stuff too. It was pretty funny, right? The one joke I have for you is that you're talking about like all your materials based on your pathetic the words we use. I just kept thinking like, now I have to stop reading this relationship for material for your sake. Like, talk about how you're gonna stop reading this by taking Ativan not getting off. It's whatever it is. I don't know.
Just picking fights for material.
Yeah.
The makeup sack. The bonus is makeup. Yeah, no, I think it was pretty good. I really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was pretty funny for my and whatnot. I think it was counterintuitive in a way of the when you talked about gaining 50 pounds and started, because usually when girls get ready for marriage, like full on, like.
Yeah, no, I've got less. Like I've got like a month and 4 days to lose 80 pounds, so that's fun.
Well, I'm got your backing. I didn't do it, so yeah. Not with a truly in your hand. I'll take. No, I'm kidding. No, it is pretty funny. Pretty ironic, actually. You can probably, as you go on, you can probably refer to it quickly and everything else. And yeah, it's very American. So good job. Every round of applause for Michael E. Minna.
Thank you.
Okay, so let's take a second to interrupt. Courtney, do you mind if we let Mina join us first? Because we'll fit you in. How's that sound? Is that good? You're a little bit late to the party. Let's. Where are you from, Mina? You're on mute, by the way.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's been a crazy night. But I'm from Seattle, but I live in Jacksonville, Florida right now.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
You picked a nice warmer spot.
I tried. It's a lot warmer than Washington.
Yeah.
I think I got a tan since I've been down here.
You need parents that are retiring out there. You just save her a
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, okay.
Okay, cool. like those Fido commercials. But yeah, no, Courtney's parents are moving down earlier, so and she's from Seattle, so we got a little kind of fun mix here. So.
Nice. Hey.
Mina,
See, I told you I got a tan.
Yeah. We're the same.
See?
I think we'll squeeze. Did you have a topic still from before?
Yeah. So my topic was Prison Break, which I thought was kind of I don't know if I should have went to Black Lives Matter or not on this one, because I was like, Prison Break, and I'm a black person here, like, really? But I'm like, okay, I'm gonna take this one. I gotcha. So yeah, my topic was Prison Break. I don't really know much about prison. The only thing that I really know about it is that you might get raped in there, and to me, that sounds like a great thing, because I like having sex, especially rough sex. So rape, too much. I understand. Sorry. Anyways, but yeah. So I don't know. Prison. I feel like being an adult is being in prison. Like, you have so many different restrictions that you have to go through, especially if you're an adult and you're a parent. It's like, when can you break out of prison? Like, I just want to throw my kids out the window just so I can go party for a little bit. But then I feel like I'm a horrible person. Is that bad? Does any other parent feel like that? Because I be feeling like I'm a bad parent. Everybody be like, "Oh, you feel like that?" I'm like, "Well, does any other parent ever feel like they want to throw your kids out the window? Like, anybody else? No, just me. I mean, need to go to counseling or keep going and doing comedy, something." But that's how I feel Prison Break is all about for me, is being an adult and being a parent and not being able to break out. You're constantly trying to find ways to break out. Like, you're coming up with ideas and trying to bring people in to be like, hey, what if we go on a trip and just go crazy? It never works, because you still got to come home to bills. And then you forget that you have to go to work to pay back the time that you missed. And it's just so much. So that's how I feel about Prison Break. And that's all I got for you on that, besides the fact that I'm black and I had to do Prison Break.
Hey! I love it because I love awkward, and that was definitely, as soon as I heard it, I was like, whoa, what's it? Wow. Yeah. I just want to let the viewers know this is all random topics. Don't blame those guys. Really, I got Canadian stuff. Like, that's the way it works sometimes. I loved it. It was. I liked your stuff throwing out the window. Actually, I make it like. Oh wait, it's an alarm clock. But one thing I would say, like I fantasize about it all the time. Like, I have a joke before that didn't really work too well. But
I guess that phone call was more important.
It's performance art. She took a break.
If you want to be a comedian, that's a secret. Just get in, do your shit, and get out of there.
That's
Don't spend time drinking, okay? Don't spend time. Okay, that's exactly what Mina did. It's a perfect show, perfect way to go. Me and my friends, if someone just left, you can't get mad at them. They just took off. You're like, okay, fair game. He's gone.
Yeah, she broke out. She made her way out.
So yeah, right. I made it out, guys. I made it out.
Yeah. Hey, your kids?
No, I'm on my phone, so when people call me, I'm still trying to learn how this whole technology thing works. I'm sorry, guys. So
we are learning ourselves, so it's okay. No big deal. I was joking about you throwing the kid out the sort of thing. I was thinking, like, myself. You said that, like, I fantasize about it all the time. Just throwing your kid at a stranger, like, here, catch, and just running away.
Right.
You'll never catch me with that kid in your hand. That's
right.
thing I was thinking about. Just, it made me laugh. I think you did a good job on that thing. So it was a really awkward subject. That makes me laugh. I just started giggling because it was like. So, well,
like, you see, I'm the only black person here, and I got Prison Break. I was like,
Okay.
I'm messing.
We all got very reflections. So thank you for demographics all of a sudden. So I appreciate you showing up and changing this up. Dan, how about you? Would you like to give some inputs?
No. As soon as a black person these days, especially a female one, goes, "Hey, how come someone did this to me?" I shut the fuck up. I think that's the thing that's expected and needed of me in those situations. So I didn't really have much to add to that, except for I guess you weren't aware that there was a TV show like 10 years ago called Prison Break. That would have been could have mined that for some details, but other than that, no, I didn't really have anything else to add. Sorry, it's well past my bedtime.
Dan's on the East Coast, everybody. So
That's it.
All right, I'm right with you. It's 11:11 over here.
Oh yeah, that's right, Florida. Yeah.
Yep.
Dan's really old, so he has to go to bed much earlier.
That's right.
Year older.
You might be a little bit older than me, but I definitely understand. I understand.
Yeah, but I will say this: like, parents do have all sorts of evil thoughts about their children, and nobody ever talks about it. So, yeah, I think I don't know if you get uproarious laughter to that kind of comment, like as an opening to a subject matter, but you get a lot of like little nods. People be like,
Right.
"Yeah, I know exactly what she's talking about, but I'm not allowed to say it." You know? Yeah.
Right. I can only say what people can't say. That's what it is.
That's it.
Well, Michael, what about you? Do you have anything for that?
Well, a fun fact that no one asked for, the act of throwing someone out a window is called defenestration.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Just so you all now know that. And so that opening, that's tricky. The R word, that can be triggering. We're in a new world. There is a subtle way to nod to that. You know, they say things about prison. They say things happen. I do like rough sex. I mean, there's a way that you could have tiptoed that would make me laugh, but I'm a dirty birdie. And I'm also a parent, and I would love to defenestrate my children daily. So totally get it. Great job.
Thank you.
How about you, Courtney?
Yeah, I just thought, the whole rape in prison, but you do like rough sex, so I guess it wouldn't be considered rape. Just like a tag like that. And then you saying like, maybe I should go to counseling or keep doing comedy. Like that's kind of the tie that people make often. Like, oh, I don't go to therapy because I do comedy. It's my form of therapy. But yeah, just saying like, oh, maybe I should start going to counseling or just hit up another open mic. I don't know.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know what's cheaper.
Yeah.
Drinks, eat nachos. One of those things, yeah. But yeah, no, I think great job, Mina. Thanks for coming in late.
Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. Thank you.
Mina, everybody. Hey, we're gonna keep going. Mina, you can get another round up and here, so you can just take your second. Let's go with this next comedian, okay? I want everybody to get excited and put your hands together as fast as you can. Let's hit this big rumble. Let's fan people. Let's get the air coming out of our hands. For Courtney Bird, everybody.
Yeah. So I just wrote some of this today, so we'll just see what happens. So I may have murdered a cat last weekend. I'm not sure if it counts as murder. So I was pet sitting 2 dogs and a very old cat. She's blind. She's deaf. I don't know if you've ever seen a blind and deaf cat, but it's 1000% where they got the idea for a Roomba, because that's all they do. A blind and deaf cat will walk straight until it runs into something, and then it turns, and then it go and just keeps like it's the fucking Roomba. Sometimes they get stuck in between furniture, and eventually they'll die under the couch. Those were my drawing the ties between the room. This gets a little dark, you guys. I'm in a weird place, okay? But the cat, she didn't die under the couch, don't worry. But her owner called a couple days into her week-long stay away, asking how things were. And I was like, well, you know, she isn't eating much. She hasn't like made it to the litter box, which is downstairs. But you know, we're getting through it. And apparently that was a make or break decision for end of life care, is if she can make it to the litter box or not. Because her owner was like, well, if she can't make it downstairs, that's it for her. And I was like, oh, fuck. And she was like, I'll take care of it when I get home. And I was like, oh, fuck. I'm sorry, Kitty. So then I felt guilty the rest of my stay, like knowing what's coming as soon as her owner gets back. So I'm like giving her extra pets. She has like this glove that's meant for brushing really hairy. And I'm like, all right, like trying to feed her. I took her outside into the grass. I smelled the fresh air. I even like kind of tried to like, make a run for it, Kitty, go. But then I was like, no, that's probably not a good idea because I haven't been paid yet. So like, the cat. Sorry, you guys. This gets a little dark. Oh, one time I thought she had like gone peacefully on her own, and I was like, oh, good. This isn't my fault. Then I just realized she was just sleeping with her eyes open. So that was cool. And then, like 2 hours ago, I checked my Venmo, and her owner, like, tipped me $80. So now I feel like that's just like blood money, and I don't know what to do with it. So yeah, felt a little bad about ratting the cat out because she got home, Friday night, and then Saturday morning she texted me to say Emma has gone to be with her sister. She lived a good life, and I was like, oh no. Sorry, Kitty. So I'm introverted. I like a quiet apartment to silently play Animal Crossing. That's my jam. But a couple weeks ago, there was a disturbance in my building. Someone started banging on one of my neighbor's doors, which was startling because it's not like a fancy apartment, but it is like a secured building. So you have to be let in or know the code to get in here. And someone just kept banging and kept banging. And I was like, wow, this is ridiculous. It is 11 a.m. These people have no idea what's happening in my life. Yeah. So I finally got up and I looked through the peephole because I'm like, I don't want to talk to people, but I couldn't see anything. The banging kept going on. So I was like, fucking fine. Open the door, like still in my pajamas, like crazy hair, no makeup, no bra on. So my boobs were like exactly the same. And this lady was standing there and she was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, but Susan hasn't answered any of my messages, my calls. She didn't show up for work today. I'm so worried. Like, do you know Susan? And I was like, my next door neighbor, Susan? No fucking idea. I don't even know what she looks like. I do know what she sounds like when she comes, though. Is that help? Not help. Susan, I'm sorry. Oh, and then I had the realization, like, have I been living next to a dead body for the past week? Oh my God. This is awesome. Am I going to be on a podcast? Crazy. And that's all I have for that.
Yay!
Lego.
Great job. I have a bunch of notes for you. I'll let somebody else go first. Michael, would you like to go first?
I enjoyed it thoroughly as someone who also enjoys true crime podcasts. Like, that was my first thought too. Like, hell yeah, I'm gonna be on Nightline. This is awesome. Susan lit up a room, you know. You know how like they always light up a room, the victim. And you could be like, she lit up a room. She was amazing. Do you know her well? No, not even a little. And the murdered a cat bit was perfect. The Roomba analogy was perfect. Yeah, no notes. It was funny. I laughed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. How about you, Dan? Would you like to go?
Yeah, just a couple of things. I quite love the story. Because throughout it, you're setting yourself up as a bit of a slacker. Someone who doesn't. I was wondering if you could go it the other way instead of what was waiting for the cat when the owner got back. Like you're sat there thinking now, if it's gonna die anyways, isn't it easier just to take care of 2 dogs? Like, wouldn't I be actually getting more money per hour taking care of 2 animals as opposed to 3? And like, go through that dilemma and make yourself a cat killer. Audiences love that. Audiences love cat killers. Oh,
For
and then
some reason,
when you got the Vimo or like the message about the cat passing on, like how does one respond to that? When you're completely emotionally uninvested, something like like, oh, do let me know where I can send flowers, or something like that. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, great stuff.
Hey, Mina, do you have any input for Court?
oh yeah. I'm gonna go with Dan. How when you came up about is it I don't know if I killed a cat or if I'm a murderer or I babysat a cat. Like as soon as you say you babysat a cat, as soon as I was like, oh man, that person is probably pissed off. Like a whole other story went through my head. Like, but it started off like I was really intrigued and I loved it. The whole story was funny. Like I think I would run away if I killed somebody's cat. To be honest, I would. They would never find me.
Yeah. Thanks, Mina. Yeah, I had lots of things. Like I liked your the Roomba stuff. I just thought of a thing like it was blind deaf, back. It was dragging its belly. It was basically the best Roomba I've ever seen. Yeah, they go that kind of route. But the way your joke was structured, great. So it's no big deal. I had a couple notes. I like the dollars they sent in Venmo, $80. The first thing was, is it like blood money? Is that what you said? I'm not sure if you said that or I thought that. Yeah. Like, down, Dan was saying, like, the owners get back and like, oh, where's the cat? Oh, I put her down for you. I knew you'd get him out. So I just took care. Don't worry about that. But by the way, you owe me $80 more. Just go that way. But it's funny. You can go so many different ways with that. Yeah, it's sad. It needs to be funny the way you had it, but I think it's really good. It's a good starting thing. So, also your neighbor stuff. I like that stuff. That was really good. You said I know what she said. That sort of thing, right? First thing I thought was, which luckily isn't happening anymore. Like, thank goodness this chick beside me, I like she comes. That's what you said before. But yeah. Anyways, yeah. So it was a great thing. Good job. So yeah. So let's give her another round of applause. Courtney Bird.
Yay.
Oh, I got a friend over there. Great bastard. Okay, so listen. This next comedian, he gave me slack one time about not giving it the good intros, and it's bothered me. Actually, I've been trashing him every Monday night. He doesn't want. He doesn't know. I've been trashing about it. Like this bastard, Dan Brennan just didn't give me just on me about my ability and my intros and everything like this. So listen, I'm gonna give him the best son of a bitch intro ever. Okay. I wish I had fireworks. If I had fireworks, I'd make this spectacular. Some like kind of sparkler or something like this. I'd be waving around, lights off, but I don't. So I have to use my words. Okay. Hamilton's own. The greatest comedian to ever come out of Hamilton. Forget those comedians that come out and have been popular and made tons of money and like lives away from Hamilton. This next comedian is the greatest comedian to ever come out of Hamilton, Ontario. Put your hands together for Dan Brennan, everybody.
Yes. That's wonderful. Let's just hope there's a couple of comedians from the Hamilton comedy scene watching so that I never live that intro down. I'm sure that something like that would come up every time. I feel a need to point out once again that I got involved in this quite late. I haven't been on stage or done any Zoom show in about 3 months. So let's just tear into it. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I'm divorced. I feel like I don't need to tell you that. I feel like you've probably worked that out by yourselves by now. The decor may give it away. Free Guinness shirt from last year may also give it away. Which reminds me, the virus, it owes me 2 St. Paddy's Days. I know a lot of worse things have happened, but I feel that I must protect my culture and my rights. And that would be 2, not 1, 2 St. Paddy's Day. Because here in Ontario, we are still waiting for the vaccine. We're still out there wearing masks. Ladies, I feel that the pandemic has given me a better understanding of what it is to be a woman. My mask has gone into my eye so many times, I think I got a yeast infection. I didn't know if anyone would laugh at that. I don't know if that's funny or not. But
I'm not.
I haven't minded the pandemic, to be fair. Who in their adult life hasn't said, man, if I could just get 3 months off, just I could sort it all out, right? Well, it turns out that was a lie. Nothing has been sorted out. I've put on so much weight. I've decided to take up an exercise program, and I've now hurt my knee so bad. I'm a man. It hurts. It hurts. That's all I can say about it. And I'm too dumb to go and see a doctor about it. I just look at it. And hope it'll one day get better. So, I did manage though to quit smoking. Because after the first 3 months. Yeah, the first 3 months of the pandemic were great, and then I ran out of places to paint the living room wall with my own blood, and I thought, now what? Now what does one do? No, we kind of had a lift out of lockdown last summer, and then we went back into a hard lockdown, and I thought, man, if I don't quit smoking, if I don't at least achieve that, I will have totally wasted this pandemic. And that's kind of why I'm here tonight. I have no friends left. It's not been an easy road. If I could just say, if you have colleagues, if you work in a work environment and one of your colleagues happens to be quitting smoking, your daughter's living arrangements and how that affects her cat are none of that smoker's business. Okay. Don't be fucking deliberately annoying people is what I'm trying to say. I didn't find it at all easy. Another thing I'm really proud of that I achieved during the pandemic, for the first time as an adult, I managed to have all of my laundry done. I had 100% of my clothes clean at one point. Which is weird because it presented a brand new problem. Apparently, I do not have enough storage for my clothes when 100% of them are clean. The dirty laundry hamper was a vital part of the laundry storage. So there I was thinking, wouldn't it be great to have all the laundry done? No, it wouldn't. Be careful what you wish for, is what I'm trying to say. But I quit smoking and I couldn't do it alone, I couldn't do it alone because I'm weak. I have no willpower. So I was using those nicotine patches. I don't know if you've ever seen a box of nicotine patches or read the warning on the side of a box of nicotine patches. In bigger letters than anything else under the warning, it says quite clearly, take this patch off before you go to bed, right? Mm-hmm. And I, one night, forgot to take the patch off because of the alcoholism. And, one problem at a time. And I had this dream. Yeah, I don't know if you've ever, it was a wicked dream. Like I just had this huge block of cheese before bed. Have you ever had a dream like that? This was 10 times worse though. I died in my dream. I had to go to my own funeral. There were 6 people there. 2 of them were my mom. And then there was like a whole bunch of bit about how I went to hell and like it was really funny, but it's too long for this forum. That's my humble brag. I've been working on my humble brags during the pandemic as well. I find them to be the best form of conversation, don't you? So like the other day, and do feel, because I feel like I'm on a roll now, Keller. Do feel the need to cut me off when you must. The other day, I was talking to some friends on Zoom. We were watching a soccer match together because, I like soccer and so do my friends. So we were watching a soccer match live. And one of my friends was making fun of me for being single. And it really angered me. It angered me because, I think anyone can say this, but I choose to be single. I think that's what I'm designed to be. And no, I fucking laugh at me for being single. I fucking laugh at him for being married. And not just married, being married to a modern woman. A modern woman, she has her own money. She doesn't fucking need you. The reason he was allowed to watch the game is because she can't fucking stand him being in the house. So that's the end of that rant. But here's the reason I want to be single. You know what I mean? You go back to the 1950s. Would you have wanted to marry a woman in the 1950s? You're out at your office job. You're wearing your suit. You come in the door. Boom, she's right there. She's got slippers and a scotch for you. She tells you to go and sit in your armchair because you've got a pipe waiting for you and an evening newspaper. She's heating up the dinner and the kids are already in bed. Who the fuck could live up to that level of niceness? Like, I could never reciprocate, you know? It would be a nightmare. But okay, whatever steam I thought I had, I completely lost on that last one. I will wear that and I will think about it for a long time. That's me.
Dan Brennan, everybody.
Yay!
I don't know if you walked Michael or not, but she has gone. So
What could I possibly have said there?
I don't know.
Bummer, dude.
Oh, that was fun. She just mentioned it. Yeah. So yeah, no, I think it was a great job, Dan. I always enjoy your kind of style. Us Canadians have a bit of a different style than Americans. We have a little more Brit, longer format stuff of story stuff, and I really appreciate it. I'll laugh. I love your stuff about the yeast infection. My favorite part was all the girls' faces just go. That's my favorite part. So I thought it was funny, but because
I think it's a really, really funny joke, and I've been figuring about how to deliver it correctly. But it's one of those jokes. The first time I did it on a Zoom, and I'm really I only really care what women think of the joke. I don't really care. I don't think guys would get it. I don't care what they think. I want women to laugh at the joke. And the first time I did it, there was a couple of women, and they both laughed uproariously on it. I'm like, oh, it must be a great joke. And every time I've done it since, somehow it's gotten grosser. I don't know. Comedy, such fun, eh?
I have jokes, Dan. Some of them, they worked the first time and never worked again.
Yeah.
It's like common thing. Yeah, I know. The pandemic achievement stuff was good too. Like your laundry stuff, apparently I have too much. I think every single person can relate with that. When you got nothing to do and you do everything, you're like finding where places go. We're like, oh man,
yeah.
There's some sweaters. Why do I need gray sweaters? I don't get it, but yeah.
Well, I need 3 sweaters because I live in Canada, and that's just that's one day's wear.
I have work I can't wear personally that I have to wear at work, and then personal ones. It's just a whole extreme thing. It's like it's a full other person. Yeah, but no, it's great. Yeah, no, good job. So
thanks, buddy.
Said Michael left, so now we can see Dan's mattress again. I was actually excited for a long time because the screens got small when she was here. That it was cut off. So really appreciate your job. So, Courtney, do you have anything for Dan?
Yeah. The yeast infection line, it's funny, just saying yeast infection, but it's so was your eye super itchy for a few days and you just kept scratching it? You obviously never had a yeast infection because it just I think the women don't laugh because it's what was happening to your eye?
Right. Maybe it's not as clever as I think.
Scraping discharge out of it.
I will add some of those act outs. I think that would probably work.
Just it's fucking itchy.
Bring a cup of yogurt on stage.
Look over here. I just got it.
That's the cup of yogurt.
Right.
Oh yeah, just the bringing your small problems to a person who's trying to quit smoking. I thought was funny. I just wrote down no small problems to smokers.
Yes.
And then the laundry thing, I guess it kind of pays being lazy. If I only knew, I guess I have to keep being lazy. I tried it once. I did everything I was supposed to, and now I can't. Now I know.
Yeah, I like that. I think that could spin nicely into the whole thing about being single, about how you're supposed to go and buy a house, get married, all that kind of stuff, and how I've kind of avoided that by hook or by crook.
Now
so
there's a reason.
Yeah.
And then the nicotine patch, you're not supposed to wear it to bed. I just had the idea, but I like to smoke in bed.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of coverage are they giving me during those important sleeping hours? Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep. And that's all I had.
Cheers, thanks. That was really nice.
Nicotine patch. Fucking stuttering. I'm getting tired. Patch after sex. That's what I was thinking. You have can't cigarettes.
Oh yeah.
So
right.
Very good.
Yeah. Do you have anything that's non-stuttery?
Yeah, so so I agree with Courtney on the yeast infection thing. It was funny, but I was a little lost because I was like, wait a minute. So, like she said, were you scratching your eye crazy? Like, were you like trying to find ways to scratch without nobody knowing that you were trying to scratch? You know,
Adjust your glasses.
right? You were like this, like did anybody know? Was there a smelly smell coming from your eye? Like I was, it was funny, but as a female, we know what yeast infections do.
Yeah, right. Okay. I think
So,
I have some research to do.
um, but I thought that, but it was funny. And as far as the laundry thing, I thought that was funny as well because it's true. I actually washed everybody in my family's laundry one day, and I had nowhere to put my clothes
Yeah,
or their clothes,
yeah.
so I
Oh,
threw them all. I threw them all
didn't,
out the window.
oh, I didn't make that up by accident. That happened. I'm like, now where do I put this stack? Everything was going so well until, and I just threw it in the dirty laundry hamper and got on with my life.
Yeah. Later.
And it's funny because it brings back to the fact that I got so excited because I bought my first washer and dryer, and now I'm hating it. So thank you.
Okay.
So, yeah, and then I also like the part about you being single. Like I don't know what I'm in right now. I'm in a what did Will and Jada said a entanglement. Is that what they called it now? Is that
Right.
something?
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm in. But the single joke, that was funny. I loved it.
It is better. There's a whole bunch more written about it. There's like actual thoughts about what I like about being single and what I hate about being in a relationship. That I didn't explore at all during the time that I was given, but it's something I'm really interested in exploring, because I think like you have to give people an opinion that they can bite their teeth into. So it's got to be like the opposite of what everybody's thinking, or the opposite of what they think you're going to say. So I don't know. Yeah, thank you for the feedback. I appreciate it.
I also
Yeah.
think if you're going to do more Zoom shows, you could just subtly point to your mattress on the wall and be like,
Yeah.
obviously I'm single.
Yeah.
Mattress right there.
This is where the magic happens, ladies.
Just
That's
flop
it.
that
That's
down
it.
and let's
That's
get
it.
to business.
That's it.
Right.
Yeah.
Like a Murphy bed. But
Yeah. I'm fumbling for condoms and nicotine patches all night long. End up
Don't
putting
mix the two.
Yeah, well, that's what I was about to say in the dark. That would be painful. Anyways, thank you very much for that.
good job, Dan. Another round of applause for ready for Dan.
Yay!
Well, Mina, I'm gonna give you a good intro, Mina. So don't rush me. Ready? Okay, because just pitched Dan Brennan one time. He was all over me about not giving good intros. So now I'm like always dependent on getting good intros, giving the best capable intros of rattling bullshit every time I can do this. So listen. I want everybody to put your hands together all the way from Florida via Seattle. Is that the right way to say it? Maybe it's the other way. All the way from Florida. Put your hands together for Mina, everybody.
Yay!
Hey guys, hi again. Like you said, I'm from Seattle. So I moved down here to Florida, and I just want to let everybody know that Washington no more Black people. I get asked a lot, if there's Black people in Washington, and I want to let everybody know, no, me and my family finally got out. As you can see, Courtney's still up there. I got a tan down here in Florida, so there's no more Black people in Washington. So I want to put it out there. Just want to put it out there so anybody was asking. I don't know if anybody knows there's Black people in Africa. I don't know if anybody knows that, but just want to put it out there as well. You guys don't know how many times I get asked that question. It's amazing to me. But as everybody knows, I am a mother. I'm a mother of two. I have a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old. And this whole virtual learning on the computer, having them staying at home, I did not sign up for this. I thought that when I have my child, I could just give my child to somebody else and they teach them and they just bring them back and I just feed them and put them in bed and then, start the whole day over again. I didn't know how to be a teacher too. I literally forgot what 12 plus 12 was, and then I had to count on a calculator. I was like, oh, shoot, it's 24. Doggone it. Like, I had to do math all over again. I didn't like it. So I was trying to figure out how I could sue the state of the United States for me being a teacher because I didn't get no W-2 form for being a teacher. Nobody gave me none of this benefits, so I'm a little upset about this. I didn't sign up for this job. I didn't apply for it. I kind of didn't even really apply for being a parent, but that's another story. But I just wanted to put that out there as well. This whole quarantine thing is driving me insane. I'm surprised I haven't ended up on the next episode of Snap or next 48. Because my kids and the man of the house, whatever he decides I want him to be at the time, like he could be my husband one day he could be my boyfriend, one day he could be a one night stand. It don't matter. Whatever I feel like he's gonna be for that day. He lives there, but in my imagination. But the whole quarantine thing, I'm like I said, I'm surprised I'm not on any episodes of any crime scenes because let me tell you, if anybody knows, it's hard to be in the house with your family. I didn't even know how hard it was until I had to stay in the house with my family. Isn't that sad? Like I lived with them this whole time, but I didn't know how hard it was until I lived with them. Now I see why. In Washington, before I came to Florida, there was this lady who drove her family off the bridge. And I was like, oh my gosh, I totally understand that woman. My mom thought I was crazy. She was like, why would you say that? She killed her family. I said, you don't know what that woman was going through. She could have been in that van and told Susie to get off her phone and listen to what she was saying. And she told Sally to stop spilling cereal in her car. And she then told JoJo to stop doing this. And then she said, forget it. Everybody got to die. We all got to die today. And you don't know what happened. You don't know what happened in that car. That woman had to drive off the car. There was a reason why she killed her whole family. You guys don't understand. There's another man who killed him. He killed his wife, himself, and his kids. He had came home one night from work and killed his whole family. And again, you don't know what's going on in this man's mind. He may have came home and stepped on a Lego and got mad and killed everybody in the family. You don't know what happened. If anybody who have kids, you have to understand things like these stuff happens. I don't agree with it. I'm not going to kill my kids. I think about it sometimes, but I just could understand how a parent can go from 0 to 100 real quick. That's what they say nowadays, right? Well, anyways, I say Disney to sci-fi real quick because I find myself singing to my kids like, okay, guys, put on your shoes and socks. Okay, guys, put on your shoes and socks. And then all of a sudden I'm like, if you don't put on your shoes and socks, I'm about to tear this whole place up. And then all of a sudden I'm the bad guy. Like, I don't understand this whole thing. Like, yeah, I go to Disney to sci-fi real quick with my kids. It's sad. And then, again, this is why I do comedy. Because I have to vent to somebody. Somebody's got to feel my pain somewhere. One more thing before I go. I have a confession to make. I try to work out and drink lots of water before I have sex. Like me and my partner, we plan to have sex. So we pick days of the week that we're going to try to go for it. And it's been really great. Like, I drink lots of water, like I said, and work out. And we get to that point and it's like, I'm so worked up. And then all of a sudden I fall asleep. So I was just wondering if anybody else had that problem. Does anybody else fall asleep before sex, after, during? No? Okay, I need help. Thank you. I just needed that confirmation. All right, you guys been great. You guys have a great your night.
Yay! Need everybody. I think I'll start. I like your stuff. You got a tan. One thing I thought is I'm no longer light skinned. I thought that would be that. I have family that do talk. I have family that lives down in Phoenix. So my brother married a black girl. I got tons of family down there, and they're getting so much darker all the time in Phoenix and whatnot. It's always a funny one thing I don't think you meant to say, but the State of America, I think you said, which was pretty funny because you're talking about like State of America. I was like, oh, that's hilarious. But yeah, that driving off a bridge stuff, I really like it. It's funny. I find it really funny. But I look also my way that even though it's funny premise, it's a really hard subject for people to take because it's like for some reason to take it. Because I used to talk about my kid like my daughter screaming at me at the top of the stairs, which is all true. Like I remember she's screaming at me, and I remember looking at her, going, I can literally kick you down the stairs. Like I just boot you down the stairs, right? It's funny just the people that hate, But everybody else, you're like just all of a sudden like, whoa, what are you talking about, sort of thing, right? Now, if you're doing it in front of a whole show, man, they'd just live it and love it, and it'd be hilarious. But I think if you don't have it, it's kind of like a tough premise to stick with, sort of thing, right? But I do like to see the sci-fi stuff. I almost think there's a better word for Disney to like History Channel, or like Disney, like it's some other genre you could use rather than sci-fi. I think sci-fi gives you more like, for me anyways, like I went straight to Alien sort of thing, right? Rather than, right? Like I don't know what the thing is like, but I think a better one out there. But I liked your style. It was really fun. So good job. So yeah. How about you, Courtney? Would you go?
Yeah. For the teacher stuff, when you're saying like I didn't get a W-2, I'm not getting benefits, like I just like the line like I'm not qualified for this job. Like basically, like I'm not qualified to be a mom, but you guys are making me. And then
Pretty much.
talking about your husband, boyfriend, I just put as a third tag like groundskeeper, depending on the day. Like I tell you what your role is. Today you're gonna mow the lawn. So there's a term for people who kill their families, family annihilator. So you could use that term instead of like, oh, this guy murdered his family, this guy killed his family. Like family annihilator is just like an overall encompassing thing. And I do listen to a lot of murder podcasts, and I know the story of that family that you're talking about. And it's actually is a very sad story. Like they abused those children a lot, and they like starved them and stuff. So if people like me actually know the story, then they're going to pull back. But when you said you could go from 0 to 100 real quick, I was like, oh, well, that's what the mom did because there weren't any brake marks on the road. So she didn't love this. So just depending on which way you want to take it. And then what think about it. Yeah, I think that's all I have.
Good job, Courtney. So you got anything?
Yeah, I got some stuff about the first half because I started to drift off. It's late at night here in my room.
I understand, Dan. I got you.
So I thought like the first question, like why did you leave Seattle? Like I thought the stuff about there being no black people left and all that was good, but why did you move to Florida? There could be some humor found in there, you know. I just wasn't getting enough crazy where I was in Seattle or something like that, you know. And I spent most of the time trying to fully form this sentence. So it was about the parenting part, about teaching at home. So if you said to doctors because your kids are 8 and 10, right? If you said to doctors 8 or 10 years ago, you'll be able to care for patients. Video technology is going to help you improve the care of your patients. They would have been excited about it. But if you'd have said to parents 8 or 10 years ago, video technology is going to help you educate your children in your very own home, they would have burned their televisions. Something like that, right? Yeah.
Right.
And I really do love the idea of the 3-in-1 man. And I was wondering if you could like present it as if it's like an infomercial, eh? The modern woman doesn't have time for a side piece, you know, someone to have a shoulder to cry on and a great lover. What you need is a 3-in-1 man. And here's the best part. It's all in your imagination. It's how you approach the problem. You know what I mean?
Right.
It could make a really, really good sketch when you think about it, because you could have like some slobby guy lying on the couch, and then you have the dream sequence or whatever. But yeah. I really like that idea. Yeah. I thought there was something there.
Cool. Thanks, Dan.
Okay, I appreciate that.
Yeah, with the talking, teaching stuff, I started thinking also, that's one thing I didn't write down, but they remind me. But it would bring my anxiety back from school. I have to sit there and like, oh, what's his number? Like I have to help. He's doing physics this year. And I'm like, oh God, I don't want physics again. Like it's just to me, I'm like dreading it coming up next semester of physics. It's like, oh, so I totally sympathize that teaching at home, and yeah, I just make it hard on the kids where they don't want to listen to me, and then they just go to their mom. So he's not giving you enough. No, I'm joking. He's not taking enough responsibility with a teaching job. But yeah, I'm kidding. Relating myself to your problem. But no, I think you did a great job. So good job. Everybody give another round of applause for Mina.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're coming up to a long show. I think we're going to close her off. Listen, Courtney, where are you going to be? Wow, where can we find you?
You know what? There's not a lot happening over here. So I'm going to be at the open mic at Nate Jackson Super Funny Comedy Club tomorrow, Tuesday, in
Nice.
Tacoma.
Cool.
Nice.
Oh man, what show's there? We're gonna go to Mina next because I want to make Dan feel bad that you can't do anything. Mina, what are you gonna be doing?
So I have a competition coming up on the 14th, down here in Jacksonville. I'm super nervous about it. And then I have two other shows coming up as well down here, that I actually go to on a constant basis. But other than that, I was supposed to be going to Tacoma. They're supposed to be having a show in Tacoma in July. So I'm trying to go up there to do that show. I don't know if I'm gonna go up there. The tickets are too high. I'm broke. It's ridiculous. America's hard. But yeah, other than that, that's basically what I'm doing over here on my world.
Hey, Courtney could probably set you up with some house sitting work if you don't mind a little animal murder,
If you don't like,
I'll get rid of the bodies first.
Okay, all right. Sound like a plan.
There you go.
social media, yeah. Do any social media stuff or?
Yeah, I am on Facebook. So if you find me on Mina DeWalt on Facebook, and then I'm also Mina the Comet, DA Comet, on Instagram.
Awesome, yeah.
Great.
Courtney, I'll ask you about your social media.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at Courtney Biscuit.
Okay, great, cool. Well, Dan, what about you? Where are you?
Yeah, I'm here. Decorating for the foreseeable future. Sorting out, trying to figure out if that's a horizontal or a vertical mattress. I can't work it out at the moment. You can find me on Facebook. There's a picture of this face holding a participation trophy. I'm a lot more on Twitter these days at Dan Brennan Live, and you can find me on Instagram at Comedy Things Dan Brennan. And I don't want to take up too much time, but I'm in the next month or so releasing a podcast called What Would You Do, where I present I'm releasing a podcast called What Would You Do, where I speak to comedians. I present them with a fantastic, outrageous situation that happens to them while they're performing, and they have to tell me what would they do in such a situation. So look out for that. Thanks, Keller.
That's great. Yeah. Looking forward to listening to that, Dan. Always enjoyed that. So, my name's Keller Reeves. I'm in Chilliwack. We're shut down. Just like I have to just mope. I do a lot of moping these days. I wait for every Monday night. Excitingly, I don't try to think until like 15 minutes before, so that's why it turns out. Because I'm just sad the whole time by myself. So, but listen, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you to all the guests for showing up and doing this. I think it's great. Please keep coming out. We have a lot of fun. If you want to come on this, all you got to do is sign up for the workshop and get involved. It's a lot of fun. It kind of keeps a little bit of your on, especially you Canadians. You got nothing else going on. Americans are lucky. They're off doing gigs, making money, making fame, in front of that mic, in front of cars, and we're just sad, lonely people here. So come on in, join us. Thank you for watching. This is the workshop, everybody. See you later.